When we talk about clinch, or we talk about, that close, there are two things that go along with that. At the last class, we taught you a push kick and a jab. Those are long weapons. They're used at the long distance to keep people on the outside of the perimeter, develop the perimeter, keep people on the outside, give you the ability to buy you a little bit of time and let you assess them. When they're on top of you, there's a whole different set of principles that are going to go along. And when somebody's in there and they're grabbing you, they're clinching you, or they're coming in at you, then now we're talking about a whole different set of tools. And the key to this whole thing is using the right tool for the job. You can certainly unscrew a Phillips head screw with a flathead screwdriver, but it takes a lot longer, right? And you don't have time to move around. You want to use the right tool for the job. But when we're talking about clinch, there's a couple of principles that we'll get into just as far as stance, how it differs and how it changes when you get into that position. But also the weapons of the clinch. Those are close range weapons. That's going to be elbows and knees. So we'll get into a little bit of elbows and knees, and also some of the way we change our base. Because the base has to change when you get to that situation. So is there any questions on that so far? You guys have anything you want to particularly address in situations you've dealt with, close quarters, anything like that, or that one of your partners have dealt with, or anything?
Well, I know I used to be a CT instructor for the Secret Service. So what was one of the, because you're telling me that, hey, now I'm going into that type of field. I don't think we ever talked about or discussed the clinch in training, right? Or I don't know if you guys have taught that or not. I went through.
We do, but not formally. We touch on it and we go it, but probably not as in depth that we can go into it right now. Yeah, you guys can explain to us.
So I think probably the best way to kind of introduce these guys into it is just start from the very basics, how you would teach them.
So the first thing is, if somebody's grabbing a hold of me or going to wrestle with me, I want to always keep control of the limbs. So like, for instance, if I go in to grab him and he doesn't control my limbs, then I can also choose to strike. So, but if my limbs are controlled, I no longer have that option. It becomes now a clinch. So I can control it and keep it one thing rather than allowing it to be two. And I'm going to do that by controlling limbs by distance. Once again, distance is your friend, whether it's being far away or whether sometimes it's better to close in. So you have to choose that and decide. The first difference in the way we stand is that when we're in our field interview stance, which is our Muay Thai stance, answering the phone, we're in our fighting stance, combat stance, we're actually vulnerable to get thrown off balance. But when we get into where they do have a hold of us, we're going to do something entirely different. We're going to do what we call duck feet. So we want our feet turned out slightly, and we want the heels up. So that way, if he goes to swing, swing me now. See, I fell down. Swing me now. Go ahead, pull. That works. See, there's a huge difference there. So using this type of a base is going to give you more stability in the clinch. Okay, so once somebody does get a hold of you, we're going to go to what we call duck feet. Okay, we're not going to do that prior to it. We are going to do that if they get a hold of us. So, did you see how we were controlling stuff here? We're going to get to a couple of basic things about clinch and control. One of them is we can still control distance to allow us options for striking that if we do the I love you, man, it isn't going to work out for us. We can't strike with anything when we're in that close of a distance. So if you notice, I'm always doing this. This elbow is, I'm controlling this neck here. And we're not dating. Okay, it's not this. Okay, if you guys do this, we're going to start some rumors in here. Okay, so you can see I have this elbow tucked in, and this is grabbed around his neck here. There's a big difference in this. Now, can he push in? Can you grab me and hold me tight? Can you hold me tight? No. No, because I'm controlling this, and as soon as he starts doing stuff like if he's going for my weapon, we're going to change this. We have room to do that. We created space. When we're in clinch, we're talking about always being able to create the proper amount of space for the tool that we're going to use. So one of the other things that works really well for you guys, and let's back up just a little bit. So before actually getting into the clinch, as he comes in to grab me, I can do things like this. Come on, grab me.
Yeah.
Okay? See, it's really hard for him to get to my weapon. There's a couple things here. It's hard for him to get to my weapon, but the other thing is that can I strike him with this? And can I strike him with this? So I have a lot of options in that position just by simply putting, if I put my, yep, exactly. If I put my knuckles on my opposite eyebrow,